Now?
Yes, we can see your screen, but we see the Skype up, so which means that you haven't run anything different.
Now you can see my presentation.
Not yet.
What happened? Now?
It looks like it's going, but let's give it a few minutes.
Now?
No. Yeah.
Okay, this is my final task. My name is Victoria Eugenia Nagles Caicedo. This is my bachelor degree in English as a foreign language. Today, this is my topic, emotional intelligence. Have you ever wondered what the term emotional intelligence is? It's very relevant today, this topic, talk about emotional intelligence, because our world needs people working together to bring success, to establish good relationship between people, and this topic is very motivation in our file as a teacher. When we practice emotional intelligence, we teach our children or people now how to take care of their bodies from a very young age. We as an adult, what we should do to ease the child with the pain of rejection, loneliness, or failures. And the person would know little about how to treat these common psychological injuries. People know how to maintain our physical health, but but people don't know how to maintain and protect our psychological health. I like this topic because people find the solution is to ignore problems, to ignore that injuries, but consequently of that, it can impact our life dramatically. But what is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is all about how well you understand your emotion or the emotion of others. It's the ability to identify and manage them. Okay? Emotional intelligence is so important because it's the manner that you can face with your problems. Because people now is commonly that say that shake it off, or it's all on your hair, or don't worry, you feel will better tomorrow. Is the way that people face with the problems, ignore their problems, but in a short or a long period of time, it can impact our life. These contribute to performance, engagement, and success in whatever field, but especially in our files as a teachers. Emotional intelligence that people possess high level of self-esteem and are comfortable in their own skin. You see that every day people spend a lot of money change their appearance, because for people it's more important the physical, the appearance, that our psychological health. When people develop emotional intelligence, is that a compelling vision that other feels a connection with. Is a connection with other people, a connection with my body, a connection with my skin, with my sense, with my sense as a human. Is that perfect connection. People had to know and to recognize the importance to balance our emotions with our thoughts. Is so important today because people spend time, for example, with social media, with other kind of tool. For all that, our mental health is so important. This creates a magnetic force that draws people to follow them. In this topic, there are 4 key areas of emotional intelligence. There are self-perception, stress management, self-expression, I don't know, my screen, and decision making, excuse me. Self-perception is all about your personal improvement. It's the ability to pursue and engage personal and relevant, meaningful objectives that can you do your life more enjoyable. It's about that you have to understand your strength and your weakness and balance those to achieve a good life. Is so important in your work or in your personal life, in your daily routine life. Self-perception is the ability that you can express personal feelings in a constructive way, taking into account that you will be able to communicate your thoughts, your feelings, your belief in a constructive way with positivism, okay? Taking into account the other persons. The stress management is the ability that be flexible and tolerance to deal with problems when you are working in your daily life, in your personal life, with your friends. You need to learn to deal with stressful situations. And decision making, that is to put to balance good decision and bad decision, to work with those negative and positive feelings or thoughts and find the better solution for problems in your work or in your personal life. But in this topic, the main case is the empathy. The empathy. The empathy is that you will be able to understand other people's viewpoints, feelings, thoughts, their people emotions. Okay, and you're acting in that way, respecting other is the main case in emotional intelligence, because you had to take in considering other people. And empathy is about being able to emotionally read other people, understand how they feel and support them. Is about empathy. Emotional intelligence is important in leadership. Leaders with a high emotional intelligence are able to easily build relationships, possess personal integrity, can be inspiring, and have excellent communication skills, among other positive traits. It's easy to imagine how this attribute will resonate, particularly in my global pandemic, and the emotional intelligent leader is more likely to successfully manage many relationships in a crisis. This is a high emotional intelligence. Remark the leaderships, and it's a important skills to develop when you are a leader. But emotional intelligence in teachers, that is so important. The problem is that during our stage of growth, our parents and our education did not teach us to control or to manage emotional intelligence, to lead with difficult situations. I think that we as a teacher needs to develop that emotional intelligence in our children. Is so important. Teaching is one of the professions which demand a high levels of emotional intelligence because it deals with people with whom constant interactions take place. You need to interact with parents, interact with your staff, interact between teacher with your children, and know that children in some cases have problems, have learning problems, children with special needs. It prevents stress and helps them deal with complicated situations that affect sadness, the lack of motivation, familiar problems. Emotional intelligence helps teachers to deal with the new challenge that come with problematic group of studying. Teacher needs that develop this skill because a student need to help a student to achieve personal goals, and to teach children to deal with problematic or difficult situations in their personal life or with friends. Children sometimes face with, for example, bullying. Bullying problems into school is a high problem that children face with that, okay? And to resolve difficult situation in a constructive way. It is so important to increase the dialogue with children, that children will be able to communicate the problems, and start with that impact that it can be in their mental health. Okay. This is my topic. If you have questions, I like this topic because I think that emotional intelligence in teacher is important because we need to be enthusiastic and optimistic in whatever situations. Remember that it cannot fix when damage it. Actions, words can impact in negative way our mental health. Be careful with your action, with your words, because we need to foster and develop it in early childhood. It's so important in teachers develop emotional intelligence in early childhood. Emotional intelligence is controversial to develop as we go through life and learn from our experience and experience of other people. Uh, you need every day increase your self-awareness, knowing your own emotion. You need to develop your skill about self-regulation, that is manage your emotion. You need to increase your motivation and the empathy. For me, it's so important, empathy, that is recognize the emotion of other people. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Victoria. I'm just going to ask you one question, and the question is, which two strategies could you implement as a teacher to deal with daily challenges in the classroom applying emotional intelligence?
Teacher, I think that emotional intelligence as a first eye is essential for anyone. The first strategy is that you call to work together with parents to try to to collaborate as a team to work together to improve emotional intelligence in children. For example, if one children have low score in one course, you need to implement specific activities, but you need to recognize that there are some problems that is difficult to see. Why have difficult problems that is about related with our mental health, that is, for example, familiar problem or facing with bullying. When a student face with bullying, it affect they affect their learning process. It's so important that teacher concentrate in mental health in children, because teacher design a lot of activity only focus on on obtain a specific scores. But what happened with other things that teacher cannot see in a simple a simple way, teacher. You need to implement, you need to work with parents, with other teachers that protect children.
Okay, excellent. Good, good answer, Victoria. Thank you for the presentation. Overall, I think it was really good and the topic is really challenging. So I'm sure you challenged yourself to explain this topic and you thought about it. I do recommend you as well, like I did with other students, just to reduce the words in your presentation. You took quite long, it's been 18 minutes for you. And you had only 8 minutes for this presentation, so it took you so long. I like the fact that you speak slowly, so it's like easy to understand what you are saying. But I would love like if you had used less text in your presentation and maybe more images and maybe interacting with the audience as well. Again, okay.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
Thank you. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna stop the recording right